Dear students, so today we'll discuss experiment number 6 of C programming laboratory. The aim of this experiment is introduce one-dimensional array manipulation and implement binary search. So here we'll see how exactly the one-dimensional array can be used with the help of the binary search technique. So we'll see the program. So here already you are aware of one-dimensional array. So what is array? So array can be defined as the set of homogeneous elements. Homogeneous means all the elements should be of same type, because we know whenever you declare a simple variable, so the variable is a placeholder. So in that variable you can store a value, but if you want to store the number of values into a same variable, all with respect to a same variable, we can use the concept of array. So by using array, it is possible to store the number of elements of same type into single variable. So that's why it is termed as array is a set of homogeneous elements. So here in this program itself we'll see how to declare an array variable, how to read the contents into array variable, and how to display the contents of array variable if required. So again, array can be of one dimension or two dimension or multi-dimension. So time being here we are going to discuss one dimensional array. One dimensional array means it's a single row of the table. In short, you just remember this. It is just a list of elements, or it's a single row of the table. Means the elements are arranged only in one row, that is horizontally. So after one dimension we have two dimension. Two dimensional array means what? The elements will grow in both horizontal as well as the vertical direction. So this resembles a table. So whatever the elements that are there inside the table, so this will represent a two-dimensional array. So after this again we have the multi-dimensional arrays and all. So all these things will study in the theory part. So today we are going to discuss a technique, a searching technique, that is a binary searching technique. So I think already you are aware of the searching process. The searching means what? You will be given with the list of elements and the key element. So you have the list of element. The list of element may be of any size. You may have 5 elements, you may have 10 elements, you may have 20 elements, you may have 100 elements also. So after that, once first the list of elements is given, and after that a key is given. Key means it is also called as key element. This is the element which you have to search in the given list of elements. So here the searching technique means what? The searching technique means you will be checking whether the given key element is present in the list or not. If it is present, you have to display the message as the search is successful and key is present. If it is not present, you have to display the message as key is not present. So again, for this searching process, there are different techniques, like we have linear search. So this is the simplest possible one. So in linear search, what happens? So you will be having the list of elements and you have the key element. So in linear search, so one by one, starting from the first element till the last element, the key value will be compared with each value of the list until there is a match. So whenever you reach till the last element, and if there is no any match, so will be in the conclusion that the key element is not present. So this is the simplest one, but it is very time consuming. So that's why again, to improve the performance or to reduce the execution time, so again the number of different techniques have been evolved. So in that, one of the technique, one more method of implementing this searching process is binary search here. So today we are going to discuss this binary search algorithm. So before we see the program, in short I will just explain how exactly this binary search algorithm will work. So here in order to use the binary search algorithm, the condition is whatever the elements are there in the list, so all the elements should be sorted in ascending order. This is the condition. When we have the list of elements, and if you want to use the binary search technique, all the elements of that list should be sorted in ascending order, then only you can use this binary search. If the elements are not sorted in ascending order, you cannot use the binary search. Remember this. This is the condition. So after this we'll just see how exactly this particular technique will work. So in binary search technique, how it is implemented is, so we know that whatever the elements are there, all the elements are sorted in ascending order. Means the lowest element will be at the beginning and highest element will be at the end. So here in this searching technique, first what we have to do is we have to find the middle element of the list. So when you find the middle element of the list, as the elements are sorted in ascending order, so what happens? So at that middle element, the left of that middle element, all the elements will be less than that middle element, and after that, after the right of that middle, all will be greater than that middle element, because all the elements are sorted in ascending order. So based on this principle only, this binary search algorithm will work. So as I told you, first we have to find the middle element. So after that you have to check, you have to compare whether the given key is equal to middle element. If the key is equal to middle element, the key is found. We display the message as search is successful. If the key is not equal to middle element, then what we have to do? We have to compare the value of key with the value of middle element, because we know that from the middle element, the left hand side values are less than that middle element and right hand side values are greater than middle element. So that's why we have to check whether key is less than middle element. If key is less than middle element, then obviously the key should be present in the first half, because all the elements in the first half are less than the middle element. So in this case what we do, instead of searching starting from the first element till the last element as we do in linear search, in binary search the 50% work is reduced. So instead of searching the key from first element to last element, with the help of this middle element you will come to know whether the key is present in the first half or in the second half. So that's why if the key is less than middle element, you have to consider the first half only. If the key is greater than middle element, you have to consider only the second half. So in this way this particular searching technique will work. So now we'll see how exactly a C program can be written to implement this binary search technique. So your program starts with the inclusion of the header file, that is hash include stdio.h. So this one already you know, that is it's a header file to include the standard IO functions. Like we know that there are some inbuilt library functions. So whenever you make use of those functions in your program, you have to include the corresponding header file. So whenever you are using the standard input and output functions like printf and scanf, you should include this stdio.h header. So after this your program starts. We have void main, and after this here we have the declaration of the variables. So what all variables we need for this program? So first we declare a array variable. So how to declare an array variable? You just observe here. So the data type, see the syntax for declaring an array variable is similar to the syntax of declaring a simple variable. Only change is, along with the name of the variable, you have to specify the size of that array, because at the beginning itself I told you the difference between the simple variable and the array variable. In simple variable only one value will be stored, so that's why for that you no need to specify the size, but in array variable you are storing the number of values. So that's why whenever you declare that variable, at that time only you should specify the capacity of that, means at max how many elements can be stored in that array. So as I told you, it is the capacity. So it is not like a of 20 means always you have to store 20 only. So if you want, you can store the less than 20 elements, but you cannot store more than 20 elements. Remember this. So this is how you can declare an array variable, that is int a of 20. So whenever you declare a variable like this, so what happens? Because see, here we know that for the simple variable, so only variable name will be there, array will index or the size will not be there. Whenever you want to use this, you can directly use this value, but here you have the number of elements. So the next question is how to access the individual elements. So to access the individual elements, we have the concept of indexing in array. So for that you consider this example. So I have taken one example just for the demonstration. So this example is for binary search that we'll see later. Before that, try to understand how the elements in array are stored. So here the size of the array is 10. So 10 elements are stored here. So whenever the elements are stored, so it should be possible for you to access the individual elements of this array. So that's why here in array every element will be associated with something called index. So this is like index of your textbook. So what is the use of index in textbook? So that index is useful to check which item is present on which page. So in the same way, here index is useful to check whether which element is present on which position. So this index value will indicate the position of the corresponding element in the array. So always remember, the index value starts from 0 and the last index value will be size minus 1. For example, if you have taken array of size 10, so here the index will start from 0 and the last element index will be size minus 1. Size is 10, 10 minus 1 it is 9. So you can observe the same here, that is the index starts from 0 and the last index is 9 here. So here the individual elements are stored. So how to access a particular element of this array? This is my next question. So for this we came to know that these indexes can be used, but how these indices can be used? So again, for this we use the same notation whatever we used for declaring an array variable. Means after the variable name, in the pair of square brackets you have to specify the index number. Means here if you want to access the first element, that is 2 in this example, so how you write? If the array is A, so you have to write A followed by in square bracket you have to write 0. We call it as A of 0. So A of 0 is 2 here. Similarly, to access this second one, so what is the statement? You have to write A followed by in square bracket 1. So it is A of 1. So the same statement is used to store the value also. This is not only for retrieving, to store the value also the same one is used. So similarly, if you want to access the last element of this array, how you will write? You will write A of in square bracket 9. So in this way the array elements can be accessed. So after this again we'll come back to this, because this is an example of a binary search technique. So again we'll come back to we'll go back to the program now. So this is the C program, and here I think we are discussing about this array variable declaration. So we saw how to declare an array variable. Along with this you can declare the other variables also which are required to execute this particular program. Okay, so that's what here we declare again the some more variables like low, high and mid. So these three variables are required to store the index values of the array. Low means this is the lowest index, high means this is the highest index, and mid is the index of middle element. So after that we have the variable I, this is for iteration. So after that we have n to read the size of array, key to read the key element, and flag to indicate whether the key is present or not. So here flag we initialize this to 0. Okay, means the value of flag will be 0. So whenever you go on searching for the key element, whenever you find that element, you will change the value of flag equal to 1, and if you don't find the element, you will not change the value of flag. So that's why at the end we'll come to know whether the key is present or not based on the value of flag. If flag is equal to 1, so we'll display the message as the key is found. If it is not equal to 1, we'll display the message as it is not found. So that we'll see later. So after this, the next statement in this program is printf enter the size of an array. So first we have to read the size of array. So for that we have this scanf %d %n. So in variable n we read the size. So after that printf enter the integer numbers in ascending order. So you have to display this message so that the user will come to know that I have to enter the integer numbers, and in that too be in the ascending order. So whenever the user starts entering the numbers, so you have to read those numbers into the array variable, and you know that array means it's a single variable, and in that single variable you are storing the number of elements. So that's why again we use the same indexing here to read the elements, because as per that example we know that the first element is stored at a of 0, second element is stored at a of 1, third element is stored at a of 2, fourth element is stored at a of 3, fifth element is stored at a of 4, and so on. So that's why instead of writing this one each time, because see here scanf %d %a of I, in general we have written I here. So to read the first element, what we have to write here? We have to write %a of 0. To read the second element, what we have to write? We have to write %a of 1. For the third element, we have to write %a of 2, and so on. So that's why instead of writing those things repeatedly, we use the for loop here. So already you are aware of using the for loop. So for I, here we use the index variable I, which starts from 0 and I less than n I plus plus. So I equal to 0 means the first value will be 0 here, and after that I will be incremented each time it is executed. So after 0 it becomes 1, after 1 it becomes 2, after 2 it becomes 3, and so on until what will be the last value of index? It is from 0 to size minus 1. So here the size is n, so the last index value should be equal to size minus 1, that is n minus 1. So that's why this will go on executing, so until I is less than n. When I is equal to n, this execution of this will be stopped. So that's why this loop will execute for the value of I equal to 0 till n minus 1. So as a result, the elements will be stored in the position a of 0 to a of n minus 1. So in this way you can read the contents of array. So after this we'll read the key element. So for that we display the message as printf enter the key to search. To read that we have this scanf %d %key. So in this variable key we read the key element. So whatever the things that are required to implement the searching technique are present now. Means we need to have the list of elements that is present in array A, and we need to have the key element to be searched that is present in the variable key. So now we have to use the binary search technique to check whether the key element is present in this given list or not. So for that first statements are low equal to 0 and high equal to n minus 1. So initially low, as I told you, low means it is the lowest index value, high means it is the largest index value. So initially you have the elements, n number of elements, so that's why the index starts from 0, so that is assigned to low, and the last index will be n minus 1, that is assigned to high. So after this we have the while loop here. So while low is less than or equal to high, so until this condition is true, so the corresponding statements will be continue to be executed. When this condition becomes false, the statements will be stopped from the execution. So here what we have to do first, as we saw in this binary search technique, first step is to find the middle element. So here you have to observe very carefully that low and high will not indicate the element. These will indicate the index of element. Remember this, low equal to 0 means this is the index of lowest element. High equal to n minus 1 means this is the index of the last element. So while low is less than or equal to high, we will calculate the mid value. So mid is equal to low plus high divided by 2. This is known to all. How to find the middle element? The first element plus last element divided by 2. So here mid means what we get here? Will not get the middle element, will get the index of middle element. Remember this, because most of the students will do a mistake in this also, this itself. So that's why I'm stretching on this. So mid is equal to low plus high divided by 2. So once you find the mid value, what you have to do, you have to check whether the key is present at the mid. So for that we have this if statement. If key is equal to a of mid, a of mid, remember, because this mid is a index value. A of mid means it is the corresponding element. Okay, so that's why for this itself I have that simple figure. You just see this. So initially the low will be initialized to 0 and high will be initialized to 9, not element. So here in this example the target is 7. Target means key here. So what is the first step? The first step is to find the middle element. So to find the middle element, what we did there? So mid equal to low plus high divided by 2. So low is 0 here, high is 9. 0 plus 9, it is 9, divided by 2, it is 4.5. As we are dealing with integer, the decimal part will be truncated and the value will be 4. So that's why this value of this mid is 4 in this case. So after this what we have to do? So since 8, that is mid, is greater than 7, that is target, we discard the right half and go to left. That is what. Here whenever you find the middle element, you have to check whether the key is equal to this one. If it is equal to this one, the search is successful. If the key is not equal to this one, you have to check whether key is less than mid. If key is less than mid, then obviously it will be present in the first half, because all the elements are sorted in ascending order, and we know that starting from this mid, all the left hand side values are less than the mid and all the right hand side values are greater than this mid. So that's why if key value is less than mid, that is a middle element, this should be present in first half if at all it is present. If key is greater than a of mid, it should be present in the second half if at all it is present. Okay, so in the same way we have to consider this one, that is here in this case what they have done is they have compared the key, that is 7 and 8, and they came to know that the key is less than 8. So that's why you have to consider only the first part. But see here, this is a recursive, it's a looping statement, it's a recursive execution, means each time the same statements will be executed until that condition becomes false. So that's why here whenever it come to know that the key is present in the first half, what it will do, it will just change the value of low and high. So initially low is at 0 and high is at 9, to indicate the elements to be searched are from 0 to 9. But when you come to know that the key is present only in first half, means you have to search the key element only in this first half. First half means what? So till mid is not required, before mid it is required, like it is from the 0th position till the 3rd position, means the 3rd index value. So that's why here the low remains same, but you have to change the high value. So high will be, new high will be here mid minus 1, that is here mid, this is mid minus 1. So this high will come from this position to this position if key is present in the first half. But in the other case, if the key is present in the second half, that is the value of key is greater than the mid element, you have to consider the second half. So in the second half, what you have to do, the high remains same, only the low will be moved from this location to this location. This location means what? This is the next element after mid, so it is mid plus 1. So in this case, low will be equal to mid plus 1. So in this way, this binary search technique will work. Okay, so after this we'll see how exactly the program is written for this. Okay, so here, as we saw, whenever you find the middle element, you have to check whether key is equal to A of mid. If key is equal to A of mid, means the search is successful. To indicate that, what we do, so we'll set value 1 to flag and we'll execute the break statement. So flag equal to 1. So at the beginning itself I told you here, that is flag is initialized to 0, and this will indicate whether the key is present or not. So whenever key is present, then only we'll change the value of flag equal to 1, else will not change that. So that's why here, if key is equal to A of mid, we'll change the value of flag equal to 1 to indicate the search is successful, and after that we'll execute break. Why we have to execute break? Because as I told you, so these statements are present in this looping statement. So until this condition becomes false, all will be executed repeatedly. But here, whenever the key is found, no need to execute the further portion. So that's why to break the execution of this loop, we have this break statement. So break means it will break this loop and it will come out of the loop. Okay, so this is the first part, that is if k is equal to A of mid, will do this, and if this condition is false, then these conditions will be executed. So here, what is these conditions? So after this we have the comparison, that is if k is equal to A of mid, no need to execute this. If it is not equal to A of mid, then only you have to execute this. So here, if k is less than A of mid, k is less than A of mid means we have to consider the first part. So as per that discussion, what we have to do, we have to change the value of high equal to mid minus 1. This is this one. Else in the other case, if key is greater than A of mid, you have to consider the second part. So for that you have to change the value of low equal to mid plus 1. So once these values are changed, either low or high, again the control will come back to this. So again it will check whether low is less than or equal to high. So either of these value will be changed. Either if the key is less than A of mid, the high will be changed. If key is greater than A of mid, low will be changed. So that's why out of these two, one value will be new. So that's why again it will compare the it will check this condition, and after that once again it will calculate the middle value. Okay, so this is for the new values of high and low. So here you just consider the next iteration here. So for the next iteration we have low here and high here. So again the execution will start from as if this is a list. So again for this it will calculate the middle element. So middle element here is 0 plus 3 divided by 2. 0 plus 3 divided by 2 is 3 divided by 2, it is 1.5, means it is 1. So the middle element will be 3. So after this again the comparison will take place whether the 7 is less than 3 or 7 is greater than 3, again so on. So that's why whenever you change the value of this, again the control will come back to this looping statement. Again the same statements will be continued to execute until this condition becomes false. So whenever this condition becomes false, means you have considered all the different possible elements of the list. So after this, to check whether the key is found or not, we have to use the value of flag here. So that is what done here, that is if flag is equal to 1, printf %d is found at %d position. So instead of just telling that the key is present, so we'll display what is that key and at which position it is present. So that's why we have used two format specifiers here, that is first %d is found, means whatever that key element. So that's why to replace this we have key here. If let us consider as per that example, key is 7, so it will display the message as 7 is found at %d position, we have to display the position of that key also. So my next question is how to identify the position. So to identify the position, you should know the index of that. So if you know the index of that, we know that the index starts from 0, but we know that the position cannot start from 0, which the position value always starts from 1. So that's why here in this example, whenever the search is successful, here in this case, that is key equal to a of mid, so the element will be present at the index mid. So we make use of this here. So that's why to display the value of position, we have mid plus 1. So in this way, whenever flag is equal to 1, we'll display the message like this. Else means the flag is not equal to 1, means the search is unsuccessful. So here we'll display the message as %d is not found, that is key. So hope all of you understood this program. So in this way, you can write a C program to implement the binary search. So now we'll execute this particular program. Okay. So initially, as per the discussion, it is asking the size first. So enter the size of an array. So here we'll consider only 5 elements. So after that, it is asking enter the integer numbers in ascending order. So you have to enter the integer elements. I will enter the elements as 12, 23, 34, 45, 56, 5 elements. So after that, I will hit enter. So now it is asking the key element to search. So what shall I enter? I will enter the last element. Let us see whether it will search or not. So here, see, the message is 56 is found at 5 position. 56 means this is the key element, is found at which position? 5 position. 5 means at the 5th position. So as we know, this is first position, this is second, third, fourth, fifth. So at 5th position we have found this particular key. So we'll try once again. So we'll check the unsuccessful one. So this time I will take the 10 elements. So I have to enter the elements in ascending order. So I will enter 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99 and 100. So these 10 elements I have entered. So enter the key to search. So I will enter one number which is not present here, that is 91. So here you see it is displaying the message as 91 is not found. Okay. So in this way you can write a C program to implement the binary search technique. Thank you.